So my name is Mykala Dimond. I own the Dimond Effect Aesthetics. My background in healthcare, I started way back when as a CNA and worked my way up. I got my bachelor's in medical biology first. I did a post-bac in nursing, got my bachelor's in nursing, and then I got my master's in public health. I have worked in psych. I did that for 5 years as a nurse, and now I'm in the emergency department as a nurse, and I'm also doing aesthetics, and I started this business about a year ago. I think it's really given me a well-rounded idea of how to interact with people, how to understand not only the way, like what people are saying, but their body language, how they're feeling. And I think it also gives me a better understanding in general of, what people need to feel good about themselves and, succeed in the world as well. I am very bad at being bored, to be honest, and I do love helping people. I think it's very easy to get burnt out in the hospital. No one really wants to be there. They're there because they're sick, and I wanted to do something that made people feel good in a way that was for them wholly, not because they were just sick, but because they wanted to better themselves. And I think that doing aesthetics is a good way to do that and not be so burnt out. So I moved back home looking for a house of my own. My parents are welcoming, let me come back in, and it was a good time before having kids where I was able to kind of take that leap. I know my family had my back, and I was really able to put my full heart and soul into it as my family was supporting me. So aesthetics is a lot about anatomy, as much as it's about beauty and looking better, feeling better. It's really, really important to understand anatomy so you're not causing vascular occlusions, and if you do cause one, which inevitably can happen, you know how to go through a policy and procedure to make sure that the patient's safe, that you can reverse it, and that there's no medical emergencies. And I think that understanding, how the body works, hormones, things like that, and the medical side of it gives me a much better understanding of vitamins and IM injections and IVs and how those things work in the body to help people out in that way as well. It was honestly more so the fear of the unknown. In nursing school they don't teach you taxes and they don't teach you the legal part of things, so I think it was a lot of fear, and I think that's why I didn't do it for a long time, because I was like, it was so many what ifs, but then I kind of took that launch and I was like, I will figure it out. I have a team behind me. My medical director is very responsive and very helpful with any questions for those kind of things, so when I found her, it made me more confident in having someone who has done this, who knows what they're doing, to kind of support me in going forward. I want them to know that I'm never going to push something on them that they don't want. My first question is always, why are you here? What are you feeling? What do you see? And how do you want to improve that? And I will always give the education part as well as the possible risks of everything, because I want the person to be fully informed before they're doing something that could permanently alter them or put something in their bodies. I want them to fully understand what it's supposed to do and what to do if it's not doing that thing. I think that it has given me drive and motivation, and also just I know how to push myself, and that it's worth it in the end. I have been on sports teams mostly, and I feel like with my medical director and her network, it is a team-like feel as well. I have my own business, but there's a whole group of really awesome females that are in this business that we kind of lean on each other. So I think having that team mindset is also useful, because education is power, and if I can learn something from someone else, that's just going to better my business and my outcomes for my patients. I write a lot of lists. So usually when I'm at the hospital, I'm there for 12 hours. The good thing about hospital work is it's 3 days a week, so that gives me 4 days to manage the business. I go on a lot of long car rides to the mountains with my boyfriend. He usually drives for me, so I'm in the passenger seat doing content or answering clients, planning my next steps. So it's a lot of just, big calendars, lots of lists, and trying to make sure that I'm doing one thing at a time and getting that one thing done so I can move on to the next goal. And I try to be very approachable. Any questions, I really do love to educate and help people as well. So if anyone has any questions, feel free to text me, DM me, call me, whatever contact you have, and I'm happy to answer questions for future goals. I'm happy to set up consults ahead of time before we do any sort of treatment, and I'm always available for anything like that.